Now, first up on the Factor Uncensored, President Donald Trump is ramping up his war of words with Democratic Congressman Elijah Cummings. Now, the feud began when Cummings criticized the ongoing immigration situation at the border. The president tweeted Cummings should instead focus on Baltimore, calling it a, quote, disgusting, rat and rodent-infested mess, as well as dangerous and filthy. Democrats and critics of the president are calling his remarks racist. The president fighting back today, calling Cummings racist himself. Here to break this down is Super Neighborhood leader Tomorrow Bell and conservative commentator Justin Lurie. Glad to have you here on the Factor Uncensored. So, Justin, is this racist or just an adequate description of Baltimore?
I like how you give a second answer right there. I want to go with part B. It's a great description of Baltimore. In the last generation alone, 1/3 of Baltimore has left the city. Over the weekend, there were 5 murders in Baltimore. It is the #1 district in America for rape. It is #2 for murder. Honduras is actually cheaper. I'm sorry, I don't know why I said cheaper. Honduras is, I don't know how that came out. Honduras is actually safer than Baltimore. So we have people leaving Honduras for Baltimore. They'd actually be safer if they stayed at home.
Tomorrow?
Listen, first off, he talking about Baltimore. There are plenty of cities in the U.S. where the murder rate is just as high as Baltimore. To sit up there and say infested, whenever he uses that word, he's talking about something of color. But more than anything, before we get caught up in his rhetoric, which is his intention, these are distractions. This is what he wants you to look at, because he don't want you to look at the fact that Rape-a-teen Epstein is going to probably end up calling his name out as somebody that participated in that activity. Matter of fact, his Kelly, Miss Kelly herself, his I love Trump, her husband said the U.S. needs to look into the rape allegations against him. Then on top of that, what did Mueller say last week? I did not exonerate that fool. He need to quit telling that lie. He don't want us to look at that. Look at the debt ceiling. There is a multiplicity of things that we should be focused on, but every time we try to give attention to something serious, he says something stupider than he said the day before.
Let's bring Justin in this conversation. Is, first of all, this a distraction?
It's a counterpunch. We mentioned about 15 different things. None of it is. Elijah Cummings is coming after Trump's family. He now has subpoenaed Ivanka Trump and his son-in-law Jared Kushner, their private emails. Cummings has been coming after Trump on impeachment over and over again with really no case, nothing. Instead of working with Trump to try to fix the problems of Baltimore, fix the problems in America, he's making nothing but personal attacks. That's why this is happening. It is a counterpunch to Cummings being in his face.
Listen, this is not a counterpunch about nothing. Who does he have working with him? His son? Who does he have working with Ivanka? He the one got them as employees of the U.S. government. And when you work for the government, you are accountable to the government, not your daddy meant. You are accountable. So he can't call their emails. He can call on anything. They are employees. This is what happens when you get employed by your daddy. Nepotism at its highest in the White House, okay?
Now, we're hearing from Fox News that Bernie Sanders said some disparaging things about Baltimore in the past as well.
Yeah, Bernie Sanders called it a third world country. The BBC did a documentary about Baltimore with all the rats, the high crime, the failing schools, things that need to be fixed. But there's never this big racist outcry. It's not impossible to criticize a congressman or their district. It has nothing to do with the race. It's about the performance they've had. When you ask to go to Congress to represent the district, you're asking to say, I want to go there, I want to represent you, I want to make your life better. And you go for re-election, you say, I did X, Y, and Z to make your life better, to represent you. But what has he improved? Instead, Baltimore is shrinking. It is a high crime environment. The schools are failing. I don't think he should still be in Congress.
He is the congressman.
Well, really
he is
quick,
not the
though,
mayor.
why not the same criticism for Bernie Sanders in this case when he's talking about Baltimore as well, calling it a third world country?
Because Bernie ain't president. Bernie trying to be president. This man is president. And let me tell you something. When you talk about everything that Elijah Cummings, he's a federal government. His job is to bring the money to the state of Maryland. He cannot tell them what to do with it once it gets there. They have a school superintendent. They have a mayor of Baltimore. This does not all fall under Elijah Cummings' watch. He can be doing what he's supposed to do, but once he gets to the state, that's not on him. And if he was so damn concerned about Baltimore, you don't see him setting nothing aside and saying, hey, you know what, Baltimore can use a little extra help. He ain't doing nothing but talking.
All right.
Except for he has the lowest unemployment rate for blacks in American history.
Right.
I wish y'all quit talking about that, because y'all keep saying that because y'all scaring everybody else and they leaving the damn country.
Thank you all.